What is going on? Welcome back to Trending Stocks. So I want to talk to you about SoFi. I want to talk on what is happening today, if it's justified, what might be coming next. I'm going to go over all that. But first, make sure to hit that thumbs up and subscribe. Always greatly appreciate that. And with that said, let's get right to it. So currently it is down 2.22%, largely because of the technicals, profit taking, both from institutions and retail. So I'm going to break it all down. So currently down 2.32%, 20.82 million shares have been traded, 42 is the average. So today is going to be and is a little bit lower for the volume on that front. These are some of the transactions that have occurred on the secondary market over $100,000. Only one fairly large one, so 3.67 million. But like I mentioned, a lot of institutions are just taking small profits today, as is retail. So you can kind of tell that from the momentum indicator. Number of retail investors are getting out today. But based on some of the news that's been coming out, I feel like that is a little bit more premature. So I'm going to break that down in a second. But as of today, there has been no PR from SoFi, no SEC filings, nothing like that. So it is just piggybacking off of the broader market. And across the board, there's a lot of profit taking that is occurring. But oddly enough, today, shorts are returning. And so taking advantage of that profit taking today and returning 970,000 shares. They have overextended themselves quite considerably over the last little bit. So they've been really doubling down unjustifiably, especially this quarter. They are going to have a very positive earnings. So profitability right around the corner. So that's definitely something that could and will give SoFi a nice boost up in the stock price once that is announced. And analysts will really be changing their tune as well in a positive way. But shorts are returning, like I said, 970,000 shares, 15.44% of the free float is being shorted. 138.22 million shares overall are being shorted, and cost to borrow average is a little bit higher compared to yesterday, so 1.3%. And there was a new analyst rating that did come down the pipeline today, and it was from Piper Sandler, Kevin Barker, who does have a 61% success rating, so not too bad. Price target of $8.50. So that's also aiding in it going down a little bit. But like I mentioned, once a lot of analysts start to see the broader market move up, then technically I think they'll be adjusting a lot of their ratings. And plus, I just wanted to play this video for you. So it's only 2 minutes and I'm not going to play the full video, but ultimately this is talking on how bigger and better things are coming for a lot of good growth stocks such as SoFi, as how money is going to be rotating out of fixed income and from cash into equities, very discounted stocks such as, like I said, SoFi. So I'm just going to quickly play this, and it's not too long.
Templeton's Chief Investment Officer for Fixed Income, 𝗖𝗢𝗡𝗘𝗖𝗧, joins us now with her take. You expect a lot of Fed walkback of Powell, which only happened 2 days ago, where he said they're talking about cuts?
I think he probably advertently or inadvertently really turbocharged a rally which was already well underway. I mean, he finished talking and we were pricing in 150 basis points of rate cuts next year. And, you know, the strange thing was it wasn't necessary. The market was already easing financial conditions. By the time we finished speaking, we were all the way back in terms of financial conditions to when Fed funds was at 1.75 rather than 5.25 to 5.
Yeah, I agree. It was surprising how dovish he was and how much he leaned into the cuts and the three cuts on the SEP, but he did it.
So, he did it, yeah.
So now what?
So now what I think is exactly what we saw a little bit. But I have to say, you know, the horse is gone. It's way too late to close those stable doors. It's going to take some more very concerted effort in walk back. And it's a bit tough to do. I think we also are going to need that data, some help from the data for the Fed, in the sense that I don't think they planned to say that they were that definite that mission accomplished had happened, but that was definitely the message which got taken away from that press conference. So I think it's going to take a few weeks, several weeks.
So does the trend continue? Get out of cash, get out of money market funds, go into stocks, bonds, commodities? I mean, what do you do?
So I think actually in terms of getting back into fixed income, this is something we've been asking for several months. It was always clear that it's not a question of how quickly. The market clearly moved very, very fast. But in theory, in principle, looking into next year, people should be getting ready to get out of cash, at least in the fixed income space.
So there you have it. So early next year, definitely people will be rotating out of cash and fixed income into a lot of discounted equities such as SoFi. So once again, if someone's looking at a company for that has a lot of good growth, why not a newly profitable company such as SoFi? So once again, I feel like a lot of people are going to be rotating into SoFi specific. But once again, the data points, I'm going to go over that. So looking at options activity, so $988,000 in puts being purchased versus 7.33 million in calls. So despite the pullback, profit taking that's happening today, people are anticipating for things to continue to trend up. Looking at some of the call options though, it is anticipated to be above $10 by the end of next week. And I brought this up during my last video. So assuming SoFi does close above $9, you are going to have a huge bump up in the stock price on Monday because market makers are going to have to cover 41,000 in open interest just at that $9 strike price. So that is pretty substantial. And somehow if there is a power hour rally for SoFi causing it to get above 950, then you are going to have a additional 13,000 in open interest. So definitely a lot of interesting things. Looking at puts though for today, it is anticipated to be sub $9. So both will kind of make sense when it comes down to the technicals. And keep this in mind. I did say this at the early part of the week that based on the Elliott wave technicals, it is projected to be between, I think it was around 974 to 1025. So when I did do this video and I brought this up, this was at $8. Actually, I think it was like $7.90. So the technicals are still pointing for things to go up higher. So between, like I said, the 974 and 1025. But when it comes down to some of the fib levels and what they are saying, at $9.29 is between this R2 and this R3. So 946 is going to be that next strong resistance that you'll want to watch SoFi to break above, and 867 is going to be that next strong support. But I do feel that there's a lot of good momentum in the broader market, and a lot of people are going to be rushing towards good, credible stocks such as SoFi. Today is just obviously profit taking. Any stock going up a considerable amount over a 2-day period or even sometimes 1 day, there's profit taking no matter what, but coming from both institutions and retail. But a lot of institutions and analysts are starting to say that there is a lot more upside coming in the foreseeable future, like I mentioned with that video that I just played. So let me know your thoughts on SoFi. Give yourself a shout out in the comments. Have you been buying SoFi? Did you sell? Did you take profits? What did you do with SoFi? And where do you see things going in the short term? Do you think it's going to be above 10? Do you think it's going to retrace back to the low 8s? What's your viewpoint on all that? Don't forget to hit that thumbs up and subscribe. Always greatly appreciate that. And one final thing, if you do like my channel, want to support the growth, take a look at my memberships, link in the description below, and also the comments. With all that said, I appreciate all of you watching.